This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 5 o'clock, a school bus aide is heading to court today. What she's expected to do before a judge after this video went public, allegedly showing her slapping a special needs student.
And it's been 7 months with no answers. The search for baby Amaya has baffled a community since March. The emotional vigil as family and friends vow to make sure the little girl is not forgotten.
And today, work begins on a brand new biking, running, and walking trail in Noblesville. But just ahead, the reason not everyone is happy about the new addition in Hamilton County. But first, it is 5 o'clock here, the start of your work week. Monday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren and Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Todd Clausen is back with us after his tropical vacation. And he didn't bring back the warm temperatures like we had hoped.
No, but I brought back the sunshine.
Okay.
So
We'll take it.
We'll take that, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, no, it was beautiful, warm. Fall-like, though, here in central Indiana. Before I left, we were in the 90s, and now we're in the 30s and 40s this morning. And you'll need to grab a light jacket before you go, most definitely here this morning. You also have to have the sunglasses handy. Sunrise not until after 7 o'clock here this morning, but once the sun does come up, it'll be a sun-filled day for us from start to finish. But look at some of these temperatures. We're down to just 1 degree above freezing right now in Crawfordsville at 33 degrees, 37 in Lafayette. Peru, you're down to 35 degrees. 40s, though, still from Indy to the south. So you don't have to worry about any patchy frost here in the city. It's mainly to the north and west of Indy, and the skies are clear this morning. So that's why the frost is settling in some locations. Clear skies, a little bit of moisture out there, and light winds are the key ingredients to get that frost to develop. So some of you may have to scrape your windshield this morning. Otherwise, throughout the day today, we're already into the mid-50s by the noon hour, and then eventually highs will top off in the low 60s as we get into the afternoon. Should be a beautiful fall day here as we make our push to the middle of October. We'll talk more about your extended forecast coming up in just a little bit, but right now, let's get you up to date on the roadways with Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here's a live look at traffic up on the north side of town. This is I-465 near Ditch Road. Traffic here is pretty quiet still, traveling up to speed both eastbound and westbound. We'll keep a close eye out for any delays or issues and keep you updated this morning. A statewide silver alert has been issued for a missing Richmond woman. The Wayne County Sheriff's Department says 30-year-old Summer Michelle Lee went missing around 8:45 last night. She's 5'2" and was last seen wearing a white shirt. Police say she may be with 38-year-old Travis Lee. If anyone has seen Summer or know where she may be, please call 911.
A woman accused of slapping a special needs student on a school bus is due in court today. An attorney released video of the incident to RTV6.
We're here? No. Oh, I shouldn't have done that.
The court documents Francella Von Fossen, a Noblesville school bus aide, slapped a 10-year-old girl with disabilities on a bus in May. The report says the girl has a brain injury, so she uses a special wheelchair and needs help with basic needs. Van Fossen faces a battery charge. A change of plea hearing is scheduled for today. It has now been more than 7 months since an 8-month-old little girl disappeared. This morning, members of her family are still pushing for answers. Over the weekend, the community gathered to remember baby Amaya Robertson. The group says they simply want to know what happened.
We're here to just keep her alive and keep people remembering who she is and that she's still missing. We would also like to see someone held accountable for at least child endangerment.
Absolutely.
And this child being gone and not speaking up.
Charles Robertson, the grandfather of baby Amaya, says he has not received any updates on the case in months. He also has not heard from his daughter, Amaya's mom, Amber, in even longer. IMPD has been investigating the case as a homicide. They say Amaya Robertson's mother is not considered a suspect in this case. However, Robert Lyons, the mother's boyfriend at the time Amaya disappeared, has been questioned throughout the case. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS.
Time right now is 5:04. Work is set to begin today to remove old train tracks for a new trail here in Noblesville. Our own Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with more on why these tracks are being removed and how this could impact you. Kelsey, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, so we're at the intersection right now of 8th and Connor Streets. And south from here is where they're going to be tearing up these railroad tracks and hopefully removing them over the next couple of days. So where these tracks are right now will become part of the nickel plate trail system connecting Noblesville and Fishers with a walking trail. The plan is to have the nickel plate trail connect Noblesville to the Indiana State Fairgrounds. That project won't be complete until after This has been a controversial project that RTV6 has followed from the beginning, with some arguing that the tracks could have been used for mass transit into Indianapolis from Noblesville and Fishers. But right now, work here in Noblesville is expected to last through October 25th. One lane of 8th Street will be open for traffic using flaggers. Some cross streets are also expected to close during the workday and reopen in the evening. So be sure to use caution and be ready to take an alternate route if you are driving through Noblesville in the coming weeks. Now, in November of 2017, we told you if you live near the trail, you could be compensated up to $100,000. But the attorney we spoke to says that you will have to sue the city to see that cash. You can head over to the RTV6 News app for more information on that. Live in Noblesville, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. A police car is parked on the front lawn of the state police post in Tippecanoe County this morning as the department mourns the recent death of a state trooper. The public is invited to pay their respects. Investigators say 27-year-old trooper Peter Steffen was responding to assist another trooper when his patrol car veered off the road on Old State Road 25. A foundation has been set up if you would like to make a donation to his family. You can find that information by going to the RTV6 app and clicking on this story.
Time right now is 5:06. This morning, an investigation continues after Indiana's first recorded human case of a deadly mosquito-borne virus known as EEE. The virus can cause deadly brain infections. The virus has been detected in horses in Elkhart and LaGrange counties. Both counties authorized aerial spraying to combat the illness. Over the weekend, the CDC confirmed that an Elkhart County resident died after contracting the virus. This is the first human case in Indiana since 1998 and only the fourth reported since 1964.
This morning, investigators are trying to figure out what caused this garage fire in the Speedway Woods neighborhood on Sunday. Pictures shared by the Wayne Township Fire Department show how badly the fire destroyed 2 vehicles. Crews were called to the home on Greenwoods Drive Sunday afternoon. A neighbor alerted the homeowners about the fire and no one was hurt. The cause of the fire remains under investigation.
This morning, members of the Indiana Army National Guard are preparing to deploy to Southwest Adia. Over the weekend, there was a special ceremony at Plainfield High School to honor the men and the women of the 113th Engineer Battalion. They'll deploy to Southwest Asia as part of a task force, Spartan, after mobilizing and training at Fort Hood, Texas.
Fall break starts today for Indianapolis public school students. The district wants to remind families free meals will be available to kids in need. Fall break meal service will be served at 7 sites this week. Anyone under the age of 18 is eligible for meals, even non-IPS students. For more information, you can head to our website, theindychannel.com, or the RTV6 app. And if you're just waking up now for breakfast at home, you're going to want to grab a big cup of hot coffee, Todd.
Yeah, maybe 2 to get you going because it's a Monday, right? So you need to add a little extra caffeine to get you going and also to warm you up. It's chilly here this morning. Temperatures are hovering right around the 40-degree mark in the city. But once you get outside the city, temperatures to the north and to the west are running even a little bit cooler than these numbers you see here through the course of your morning drive. And we'll fall another couple degrees this morning with the sunrise not till a little before 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock temperature should be right around 39 degrees. So you need to grab the jacket, maybe warm up your car a little bit. And for some of you to the north and to the west, you'll have a little frost on your car. You have to defrost that windshield here before you get going. Just a few high clouds up here to the north, and that is just about it. Despite the cool start, turns into a beautiful day for us. Highs in the upper 50s to right around 60 degrees today in Tipton, 61 in Crawfordsville. As we work our way down into southern locations, a little bit warmer, mid to upper 60s. Beautiful in Bloomington at 66, 68 in Seymour, and then in around the metro area. Highs will generally be in the upper 50s to low 60s. It's a great day for us. Get out there and enjoy. Tomorrow, some rain does enter the forecast. We'll have the timeline for you coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Today is said to be a big day of testimony in the Trump impeachment inquiry. Who's set to go before Congress and the impact that testimony could have.
And a woman shot and killed in her own home by police. The phone call from a neighbor that led to officers shooting and killing the woman through a screened window. We'll be right back.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Now to the latest on the impeachment inquiry into President Trump. Today, the House panels leading the investigation are expecting to hear from a former top Russia expert at the National Security Council. And the U.S. ambassador to the European Union is set to testify Thursday. Gordon Sondland was blocked by the White House last week from being deposed. He's expected to show up now under subpoena. On Face the Nation, the Secretary of Defense was asked if he plans to comply with the subpoena related to the inquiry.
Yeah, we will do everything we can to cooperate with the Congress. Just in the last week or two, my general counsel sent out a note, as we typically do in these situations, to ensure documents are retained.
Is that a yes?
That's a yes.
You will comply with the subpoena?
We will do everything we can to comply.
According to the Washington Post, Sondland plans to tell Congress that his quid pro quo denial was dictated to him by President Trump. The Post is also reporting that Sondland is expected to say he doesn't know if the president was telling the truth at the time. Sondland and the White House have not commented on the report.
It's 5:13 this morning. A 28-year-old woman in Texas is dead after being shot and killed in her own home by a Fort Worth police officer. That shooting happened early Saturday morning. Police were initially called there to do a welfare check. Officials say the neighbor called the non-emergency line around 2:30 in the morning when he noticed Tatiana Jefferson's door was open. When officers arrived, they went into the rear of the home, shooting and killing Jefferson through a screened window. That officer is now on administrative leave.
The Marion County Health Department is offering low-cost flu vaccines all month. The next clinic is set for tomorrow. It goes from 9 a.m. to noon at the Indiana Chin Baptist Church on Madison Avenue on the south side. Shots cost $20 for adults and children ages 2 to 18. Vaccines are free for kids younger than 2. You can find a full list of clinics by going to the RTV6 app and clicking on this story.
Japan is in recovery mode this morning after a powerful typhoon lashed the country's northeast region. The storm's record-setting rain caused significant damage and left at least 31 people dead. The typhoon made landfall on Saturday night, leading to landslides and flooding. A number of rivers in the region spilled over their banks, causing the water to swamp a number of homes. There have also been a number of flight cancellations in and out of Japan. Back here at home, though, we don't have the wet conditions, but we do have some chilly weather this morning, Todd.
Yeah, we actually could use a little bit of rain here across the area. And we had a little bit on Friday evening, and we have some in our forecast going forward. Today, though, is not one of those days that we are expecting any rain. The shower chance will return tomorrow. This morning, some patchy frost is possible in some locations, and we'll have a dry day for you from start to finish with lots of sunshine. Outside right now, the temperature sits at 44 degrees in the city. The winds are calm, and that's one of the ingredients you need to develop frost. Now, 44 is too warm for frost in the city, but look at some of these temperatures as you work to the north and off to the west. And that's where the temperatures are in the 30s. So with temperatures that cool, with a little bit of moisture in the air and those light winds and clear skies, I would suspect in Crawfordsville, you're going to have to scrape the windshield this morning if you left your car outside before you get going. 38 in Greencastle, 35 in Peru, but again, 40s over towards Richmond. And then we're sitting at 40 degrees right now in the Bloomington area where there shouldn't be any frost. So it's a chilly start. You need to grab the jacket and look at some of these temperatures. Any mild air is pushed well off towards the east. We turn our attention to the west, and that's where you find temperatures in the 30s from Chicago to Peoria, and then eventually, look at that, 20s as you make your way up to Sioux Falls. We are not going to get into the 20s, but we do have some 30s in our forecast for several mornings this upcoming week as you start to plan ahead. So a little bit of cloud cover this morning from Peru to the north. This is just scooting off towards the east. For most of us, you don't really have to worry about it. And then back off to the west, we have nothing but clear skies. And that's all the sunshine that we'll enjoy here throughout the course of the day today. So it's a sun-filled day for us. Temperatures eventually climb up into the low 60s. So after this cool start, we get close to normal this afternoon. And if you're in the sunshine, it'll feel great. If you're in the shade, 62 is going to feel a little bit cooler. And then we stay in the 60s through the 6 p.m. hour. And then this evening, if you have plans, definitely need to have the jacket. Once that sun sets, it'll cool off pretty quickly. Back down into the low 50s. And sunset, by the way, this evening is at 7:08 p.m. Tomorrow morning, you're waking to temperatures not quite as chilly as this morning in some locations. The city, though, should be back down to right around 43 degrees. And then throughout the day tomorrow, most of the day is dry. Most of the day features lots of sunshine, but a front will come through tomorrow afternoon and into the evening hours. So there is a window of probably about 2 to 3 hours that you have to pay attention to for the potential of maybe a little bit of rain. So tomorrow starts off great. It's not till the evening hours. A few spotty showers develop, and then once that front goes through, especially off to the east, there could be a few heavier downpours, but it's just one line of showers that'll be coming through. Other than that, the day is completely dry, so do not cancel any plans tomorrow if you have them. Temperatures climb up into the 70s tomorrow, getting us back above normal, and then going forward, we briefly cool down on Wednesday to 59 degrees. We stay there on Thursday, but Friday starts a warming trend, 67 degrees, and then working our way into the weekend, temperatures will climb back up into the 70s. So overall, it's a pretty nice week of weather, comfortable overnight, seasonable throughout most of the afternoons. And as far as rain, again, there's that small shower chance tomorrow, and then again on Sunday, we'll bring in the chance of a few showers early in the morning. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a live look outside right now. Here is our INDOT traffic camera at I-70 and Harding Street. You can see traffic here on the near west side, traveling up to speed. No issues here to slow you down. We'll keep an eye out for any crashes or delays this morning and keep you updated.
More and more of us these days are ordering meals on a restaurant's app than driving to the restaurant where we pick up our order with no waiting. But what if someone hacks into your order?
Consumer reporter John Matarese shows us why some Chipotle customers are very unhappy, so you don't waste your money.
It's a Chipotle mystery that's hitting some customers across the country. Diners are reporting that shortly after ordering on Chipotle's app, someone else started billing phantom orders to them. Jessica Gallenstein recently placed an order through Chipotle's online app, then picked it up.
I just bought a meal for myself, and that was it.
But the next day, her bank sent an alert her debit card was overdrawn.
It was negative amounts of hundreds of dollars that were placed for orders that I didn't give my permission.
She couldn't believe what she saw on her banking app.
So I checked the transaction history and saw that multiple orders were placed through the Chipotle app without my permission.
Luckily, her bank is dropping the charges, but Jessica wants to know who hacked her account.
As for Chipotle, they told me they'd get back to me within 24 to 48 hours. I've called them numerous times and haven't heard any response back at all.
Now, Chipotle admitted to a major data breach a couple of years ago, you might remember, back in 2017. But it insists this newest incident has nothing to do with that case. And it says it's had no new breaches this year. One of our sister stations recently reported on similar complaints all over the country. Chipotle responded saying, "The privacy and security of our customers is very important to us. We're among the many retail, hotel, and restaurant companies affected by credential stuffing, in which combinations of usernames and passwords are accessed by third parties. That means Jessica's password may have been stolen somewhere else than used when she activated the app. But
I've used other online ordering apps before, and this has never happened to me."
Bottom line, make sure you're not sharing the same password on multiple sites. If it's stolen, a hacker will try it everywhere, so be careful and don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
John, thank you. For more money-saving tips and ideas, you can visit the money section of our website. Just go to theindychannel.com.
The Indiana Pacers are just about a week away from opening the brand new season. We'll show you how fans and players came together to enjoy the fresh start. We'll be right back. The Indiana Pacers are preparing for the start of the regular season, and the final preseason game is set for tomorrow. Over the weekend, fans got an early look at the team. On Sunday, the team took the court at Bankers Life Fieldhouse for the annual Fan Jam. The free event included a scrimmage, live music, and family activities. We spoke to a mother who's raising the next generation of blue and gold fans.
When I was a kid, I was a huge Pacers fan. Reggie Miller was the man, and we're just raising our boys to love the Pacers also.
Who's your favorite player?
Victor Oladipo.
Why?
Because he's a real NBA good athlete. Miles Turner. Because he dunks.
Look at those baby boomers there. The Pacers season tips off on October 23rd.
Very cute. Well, the two best teams in the American League went head-to-head last night in Game 2 of the ALCS. It was a thriller from the beginning as the Houston Astros took on the New York Yankees. The game ended up heading into extra innings, tied up 2-2. But then in the bottom of the 11th innings, Carlos Correa got a hold of these pitches and sent them deep into the right center field. The walk-off victory tied up the best-of-7 series at 1. Now the series is going to shift to New York with Game 3 set for tomorrow.
It's not hard to be a little sluggish on a Monday morning.
Yeah, well, this morning I want to give you some motivation to get up and get moving, and it comes in the form of a tiny dancing dog. Take a look.
Oh, this dancing dog has set the internet. Oh.
Jamming. It has millions of views in just the last few days, and you can see why. This is his jam.
How?
I don't know. It's so fun.
Are we sure there's not? It kind of looks like maybe someone's hiding under the coffee table and like making the dog dance.
Bobbing his head.
That's really
moving
funny.
and grooving to the beat of the music.
Oh, goodness gracious. I feel the exact opposite of that this morning.
That's like us on a Friday.
Yes,
right?
yes. Check in with us later
at 12:30 in the afternoon when we're heading home. But yeah, definitely a little sluggish here this morning. It's a little cool for you as you walk out the door as well. Good news is no precipitation. Shouldn't have too many weather-related issues, at least for your morning commute. It'll take a little while for the sun to rise here this morning, not until after 7 o'clock now. Temperatures in the 30s here this morning. Some of you could have a little bit of patchy frost to the north and off towards the west, but eventually highs today in the upper 50s to low to mid 60s as you work your way to the south. So despite the cool start, it turns into a beautiful afternoon. We'll talk more about today and look ahead coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 5:27. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Live on CourtTV.com. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Coming up on Good Morning Indiana, a church roof completely falls in here. This is while the congregation was supposed to be holding Sunday service. What caused this sudden collapse?
And construction will soon be underway to turn old railroad tracks into trails. The work being done to connect the Nickel Plate Trail to Noblesville. But first, it is 5:30 here on your Monday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrick.
And I'm Lauren Casey. We do want to check in with our own Todd Clausen in today's forecast. Todd, over the weekend, I feel like it was the first time we've really had to bundle up here in central Indiana.
Yeah, and you'll have to do the same this morning with temperatures that are approaching freezing in some locations. So everybody that didn't like the 90s that we had a few weeks ago and wanted the fall-like temperatures, well, this is your week. Temperatures will be running at or just a little bit below normal here for much of the week. But you need the sunglasses this morning. Once the sun comes up, you definitely need the jacket this morning. And your outdoor workout, that's good to go whether you do it this afternoon or this morning. You'll be in pretty good shape. But look at Crawfordsville, 33 degrees, 35 in Peru right now, 39 in Greenfield, holding on to 40 in Richmond, also 40 in Bloomington. And these temperatures will probably go down another degree or two this morning before they start to climb once the sun comes up. Just a few clouds here in northern Indiana. Otherwise, we are in great shape going forward. So as you plan your day out, just plan on lots of sunshine. Temperatures will be climbing from the 50s into the 60s later on this afternoon. It's 54 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour. Our high temperature today with the sun setting earlier and earlier, a little after 7 o'clock, should get up to about 62, most likely between the 2 and 4 o'clock hour. And then by 4 p.m., we're back down to 59 degrees. But otherwise, we're in great shape in the forecast for today. Some rain does enter the forecast, though, tomorrow. More on that, Lauren, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here's a live look right now at traffic. This is I-69 and 82nd Street toward northeast, the Castleton area. You can see traffic is moving along just fine, northbound and southbound. No delays here to slow you down, so let's take a look at our traffic now map. Planning out your commute as you're heading southbound on I-69 from all the way back at State Road 13 down to the I-465 ramps. It's a 14-minute drive. Everything is green and traveling just fine, so let's head over to the west side, give you a live look at I-465 and I-74. You can see traffic in this area is picking up this morning. No crashes around the metro area at this hour to slow down your commute. Well, okay, now to the almost unbelievable story of an identity thief that took a Speedway woman, put her in jail for a crime that someone else committed.
After breaking the story more than a week ago, RTV6's Graham Hunter talked to that woman and has new details from police on the case.
When Kristen Parr's wallet was stolen in February, she got her first taste of identity theft.
I got a text from Chase for a fraud alert that somebody was attempting to use my card for $118.
Since then, it's only gotten worse. Twice, someone has used her ID to take a car for a test drive and steal it. But because Parr filed police reports about her stolen wallet and ID, law enforcement has been able to clear her of any wrongdoing with little inconvenience to Parr.
And then here I am getting this paper in the mail that there's a warrant for my arrest.
That was last month when, for the third time, someone stole a car from a dealership using Parr's ID, this time in Greenfield.
I didn't know what to do. I was just like, I called them. I called Greenfield Police Department.
When we reported a follow-up to this story earlier this week, Greenfield Chief of Police Jeff Rash said Parr never called, but she showed me phone records proving she did. And in a text message Sunday, Chief Rash confirmed they since determined an officer did in fact call Parr back the night she was eventually arrested.
I felt like I was guilty until I proved that I was innocent.
But Parr says from the moment she talked to police, she was treated like a criminal.
Nobody took time to look into anything that I've had for, 8 months. I have all these papers to prove, but still I sat 4 days in jail because of a festival and something that somebody else did.
The day after her arrest was Rally Days, a festival in Hancock County that closed all government offices, meaning Parr didn't get a court date until the following Monday.
I'm resentful that I called to try to clear my name and do the right thing, and still they decided to serve a warrant on a weekend they knew I wasn't going to get out.
After we got involved and started to reach out to Greenfield Police on Parr's second night in jail, she says a guard told her a detective was coming to talk to her, but he never showed up.
So they came and got me Friday, said I would be talking to the detective, and just left me there all weekend.
All charges were dropped against Parr when she finally got her day in court 4 days later. Chief Rash tells me they will continue to investigate the case this week and don't believe Parr had any involvement in the crime.
I don't know what to do if this happens again. I have no idea. But I live in fear every day, like every day of my life that I've been out. It's definitely changed my life forever. I mean, I don't feel the same. I feel violated, like I was placed in jail and treated like a criminal because of something I didn't do.
This is a surveillance image Greenfield Police gave us this week showing the woman they believe committed the actual auto theft.
You're ruining my life when you should be focusing on making your life better.
Working for you, Graham Hunter, RTV6.
The police chief told RTV6 he's planning to sit down with Parr at some point in the future to conclude the investigation. Parr confirms her lawyer is working on that, but no date has been set. Parr says she is still trying to figure out what she needs to do to make sure this arrest is wiped from her record.
It's 5:35, and we do have a statewide silver alert to tell you about a missing woman here in Richmond. Take a good look at your screen. The Wayne County Sheriff's Department says that 30-year-old Summer Michelle Lee went missing around 8:45 last night. She's 5'2" and was last seen wearing a white shirt. Police say she may be with 38-year-old Travis Lee. If anyone has seen Summer or knows where she may be, please call police.
2 people were taken to the hospital after a shooting in Bloomington Sunday morning. A police officer was near the 400 block of South Grant Street when he heard gunshots around 2 a.m. He then saw people running from a nearby party and later found a 23-year-old man and an 18-year-old girl who had been shot. They were both taken to the hospital in stable condition. Several vehicles and buildings were also damaged. Officers arrested a 20-year-old man who was seen running from the area with a handgun. Detectives believe there was more than one shooter involved, and they are still investigating.
Well, the future of a church on the west side of Indianapolis is uncertain this morning after this happened. Bethany Rembrandt Church of God collapsed yesterday when the congregation was supposed to be having a service. IFD crews were called out to the church on Edgemont Avenue around 11:15 after some people smelled smoke inside. Firefighters say that everyone made it out okay, but the pastor, Eric Floyd, says the sanctuary was destroyed.
Nobody was hurt, so that's the first thing. I'm grateful no one was hurt. The building could be replaced. It's just brick and mortar. We're just going to trust God. You know, he's never let us down yet, and we're just going to wait on him to show us what to do next.
Well, the damage is estimated around $100,000. It took crews about 30 minutes to get that fire under control.
Work is set to begin today to remove old train tracks for a new trail in Noblesville. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with more on why the tracks are being removed and how it could impact you. Kelsey, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, so we are right next to the Hamilton County Government Building at the intersection of 8th and Connor Street, and that's where construction is going to begin this afternoon to tear up these old tracks here that you see in the middle of the road. So where these tracks are right now, that will soon become part of the nickel plate trail system connecting Noblesville and Fishers with a walking trail. The plan is to have the nickel plate trail connect Noblesville to the Indiana State Fairgrounds, but they don't think that project will be complete until after 2022. Now, this has been a controversial project that RTV6 has followed from the beginning, with some arguing that the tracks could have been used for mass transit into Indianapolis and Noblesville from Noblesville and Fishers. But right now, work here in Noblesville is expected to last through October 25th. Again, starting today, one lane of 8th Street will be open for traffic using flaggers. Some cross streets are also expected to close during the workday and reopen in the evening. So be sure to use caution and be ready to take an alternate route if you are driving through Noblesville in the next coming weeks. Now, in November of 2017, we told you that if you live near the trail, you could be up for a payout of up to $100,000. But the attorney we spoke to says that you would have to sue to get that. Live in Noblesville, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. The time right now is 5:39. A woman is warning others about problems with a grocery delivery service. Like many people, Crystal Silver uses a grocery delivery service because of her busy schedule. Well, she recently made an online order from Kroger, buying an estimated $115 worth of food. After getting the delivery, she noticed several items she didn't order charged to her account with a final bill of $173.
Nicorette gum, there was car chargers, air fresheners, string cheese, lifesavers, and all types of stuff. I was pretty devastated at that moment. I'm like, that could have been my last for more groceries, or, I get paid every 2 weeks. So that could have been bill money. That could have been anything.
Well, Kroger uses the third-party delivery service Instacart. Their shoppers pick out items, check out, and deliver the groceries. Each shopper receives a payment card that's capped at the amount needed for each order, but there is a credit line for items that need replacement, which is how the shopper there was able to add more items. An Instacart spokeswoman tells RTV6 the shopper who took Crystal's order has been suspended and deactivated from that platform.
The governor is declaring this week Move Over Week across the Hoosier State as Indiana marks 20 years since passing a move-over law. Indiana was the first state in the country to pass a law requiring drivers to move over or slow down when driving by an emergency vehicle stopped along the side of the road. The legislation was originally introduced and passed after the death of Indiana State Police Trooper Andrew Winsenreed. He was killed while assisting a stranded motorist on I-74 in Dearborn County. At 5:41, we need to check in on the school bus stop it is a Monday. School bus stop forecast.
Yeah, and the kids, they need to grab the jacket, and you will too as you walk them out to the bus stop this morning, as it is pretty chilly out there. Temperatures in general hovering right around the 40-degree mark. Some of you, though, especially in northern locations and off to the west, are down into the mid-30s this morning. Turns into a beautiful day, though. You can send the kids outside once they get home from school. We're looking at mostly sunny skies this afternoon, and a temperature that should get up to right around 62 degrees. Now, going forward in this forecast, our temperatures are kind of up and down throughout the course of this week. Our average high this time of year is 66 degrees, so we're just below it today. Tomorrow we climb up into the low 70s with some rain late in the day as that cold front comes through, and then look what it does to the temperature. It pushes it back down into the 50s for Wednesday. We stay in the 50s on Thursday, but then on Friday we inch back up into the mid-60s, and by next weekend we're looking at temperatures that'll be back up into the 70s. So again, kind of a roller coaster ride here throughout the week. Temperature-wise, we'll lay it all out for you in Maine weather coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. President Trump now issuing the withdrawal of all U.S. troops from northern Syria as the battle intensifies with Turkey. Coming up, the next action the Trump administration says it's ready to take.
And residents in California have electricity again after the power company turned it back on. Still ahead, the reaction to the company's attempt to improve wildfire safety.
And here's a live look right now from our INDOT traffic camera to the northwest, I-65 near 38th Street. Traffic's moving along just fine here, both northbound and southbound. Stick around, we'll have more news, weather, and traffic coming up just after this short break.
Max Life at TJ Maxx.
This morning, the violence continues to escalate in northern Syria as Turkey's military operation targeting America's Kurdish allies grows deeper. Hundreds of people have already died in the Turkish attacks on Syria, and President Trump has ordered all U.S. forces out of the country. Roughly 200,000 Kurds who spent years fighting ISIS alongside the U.S. have been forced to flee, some leaving their posts guarding ISIS prisons, and dozens of those ISIS prisoners were high-value detainees. The Trump administration now saying they're ready to impose severe sanctions on Turkey.
These sanctions could be starting small. They could be maximum pressure, which would destroy the Turkish economy.
The Kurds have struck a deal with Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad's military to fight against Turkey. People have been gathering in the streets to celebrate the Syrian military, which has been accused of war crimes, rape, and mass detention.
Time right now is 5:47. A 10-year-old girl is dead after being thrown from a festival ride. This all happened Saturday at the Harvest Festival in New Jersey. Police say the ride is the kind that spins passengers in a horizontal circle, and it's called Extreme. The cause of the girl's death is still under investigation. Rides and games at the festival were closed until being inspected by state officials.
Electricity is back on for Northern California customers after the power company intentionally turned it off. Pacific Gas and Electric cut power to more than 800,000 customers Wednesday to prevent wildfires. Only 2,000 are still without electricity. The company got a lot of backlash from customers affected by the current fires, as well as the state's governor, Gavin Newsom. Newsom slammed PG&E, saying the outage is the result of years of mismanagement and greed. Meanwhile, wildfires continue to burn in Southern California, where the biggest has already killed 2 people. One of the victims was found in a burned-out mobile home. The Sandalwood fire started as a trash fire Thursday afternoon and spread to brush. At least 90 buildings and 800 acres have been destroyed or damaged. Officials say the fire is now 86% contained. Back here at home, we are starting off chilly this morning, Todd.
Yeah, no doubt about it. In fact, some of you are waking up to some patchy frost here across parts of the area, especially as you work your way to the north and off towards the west of Indianapolis. And that's because we all have clear skies, so the areas with the frost, obviously the temperatures are just running a little bit cooler. But once the sun does come up, we're looking at mostly sunny skies for the day today from start to finish. But here is where that frost advisory is in place throughout the course of the next few hours. This officially will expire by 9 a.m. That's when obviously the sun is up and the temperatures will start to warm. It does not include Indianapolis and points to the east, but all the counties you see in blue here, that is where the frost advisory is in place. The temperature in the city just running a little bit warmer than some of those outlying areas. We're at 44 degrees right now. The wind is calm. That's a key ingredient to get frost to develop. And the dew point's at 36 degrees. So the locations where you're getting close to that 36-degree number is where the frost has settled in. In fact, you're below that number in Crawfordsville right now at 32 degrees. So really chilly out there in Montgomery County, 37 in Greencastle, Peru. You're at 35 degrees this morning, but then when where the temperatures are running in the 40s from Indianapolis to Richmond and down to the south, that's where you do not have to worry about any frost. So if you do see the frost, you'll have to defrost that windshield, obviously, of your car if you left it outside. But once that sun comes up, again, we'll start to warm really, really quickly. Just some high, thin clouds to the north. Otherwise, clear skies off to our west, and that's the sunshine we'll enjoy throughout the course of the entire day today. So here's the temperature jump. 44 degrees at 9 a.m., 51 degrees by the time we get to 11 a.m., and then temperatures will warm through the mid to upper 50s during the afternoon hours, with our high today getting up to right around 61 degrees. So we eventually get up into the 60s. Just going to have to be a little bit patient here. If you're in the sunshine today, it's going to feel pretty comfortable. If you're not in the sunshine, it's going to feel a little on the cool side, and you may want to have the light jacket. This evening, temperatures will be falling back down into the 50s, and come this time tomorrow morning, not quite as chilly. I mean, it's still cool, don't get me wrong, 38 to 44 degrees, but temperatures on average should be running about 3 to maybe 4 degrees warmer tomorrow morning than they are here this morning. Now, tomorrow's forecast, it's warmer. It's up to the 70s, but there will be the chance of some showers late in the day. Most of tomorrow is dry, but you notice this front, it'll be making its way through the area as we work into the evening hours. It's just a quick shot of rain. It's only going to probably last in your neighborhood, if you see it, for maybe an hour tops, and then it moves out of the area, and then we're right back into the clear skies as we work our way into the day on Wednesday. So here's our 7-day planning forecast. pulls out. We will have 73 degrees for your high temperature tomorrow, with the showers developing late in the day. Cooler on Wednesday, 59 degrees, and then we start the warming trend back on Friday, mostly sunny, 67. And by the time we get to the weekend, we're looking at high temperatures that will be back up into the 70s. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We are keeping a close eye on traffic this morning. We do want to plan out your drive if you're heading in from the south side, maybe heading to work early this morning as you take State Road 37 northbound from Smith Valley Road in Greenwood up to the I-465 ramps. No delays. It's just a quick 8-minute drive. And then over here along I-65 as you're getting on northbound lanes at Whiteland Road, heading all the way into downtown I-70 at the north split. You can expect an 18-minute commute. Everything there is traveling up to speed. So let's take a look right now up on the north side of town, I-465 here at Meridian Street. You can see some headlights out that way. We did have some ramp work on the north side over the weekend around Keystone Avenue and Allisonville Road, but it looks like that's not impacting your commute anymore at this time.
Google is gearing up to release its latest devices, including the Pixel 4 this week. The new phone includes 2 rear cameras and will come in a standard and extra large size. It will also feature more secure facial recognition and the use of air gestures. On Tuesday, Google is also expected to show off a 13-inch touchscreen laptop called the Pixelbook Go, a Google Watch, and an update to the Nest Mini speaker system.
Well, gamers can no longer log in to play a popular online video game, still ahead why the world of Fortnite has been destroyed. It's 5:52. We'll be right back. Welcome back. American gymnast Simone Biles taking home another gold. The 22-year-old earned it on the balance beam at the Gymnastics World Championships in Germany. Biles has now broken a record for the most medals won by a gymnast, male or female, with a total of 25. She's preparing for the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo, but she says that will be her last. Well, Fortnite is one of the most widely played video games, but you actually can't play it right now. Millions of players logged on yesterday for a special event, and that would end the game's 10th season. Well, in an unexpected twist, the Fortnite island blew up and pulled everyone into a black hole. If anyone tries to log on to play, the black hole is still all they see. 4 hours after the game went down, 50,000 people were still watching that stream. It's not clear how long that outage will last. And Todd, it was sunny yesterday, so hopefully maybe people, I don't know, stepped outside, put everything down for a little bit. So
it was beautiful yesterday. We got up into the mid to upper 60s across the area. Probably not quite as warm here this afternoon, but it's going to be just as sunny this morning. Temperatures are in the 30s and 40s. 39 in Bloomington, 41 in Indianapolis. Radar is quiet. That's the way it stays here throughout the entire day for us. So really, it's a beautiful day. As Lauren mentioned, try to get outside and enjoy going into the low 60s today with those mostly sunny skies and very, very comfortable weather. Tomorrow, rain does return to the forecast. We'll talk about that and look ahead to the rest of the week coming up in Maine weather in just a little bit. The time now, though, is 5:57. It's time for a break. We'll be back in just a few minutes.